What's up, YouTube? My name is Kenny J, the insurance guru, and this is Kenny J TV. Welcome to another episode of Kenny J TV. If this is your first time, feel free to browse around and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe and hit that bell for my latest notification. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in to Kenny J TV. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the biggest conversations that I always have with a lot of people that are looking to get into the insurance industry, and that is how to pass the insurance state exam. Yes, I've done plenty of videos on this topic, but I wanted to do a video of passing the insurance state exam in 2025. Happy New Year. It's a new year. If you're watching this when it airs, Happy New Year. It is a new year. Thankfully, we all have made it to another year, and now you're looking to change careers. You're looking to get into the best industry in the whole entire world. I can't really blame you. So in this video, I'm going to really break down how to really pass the insurance state exam so you can start your career in the insurance industry. You're watching this video for one of two reasons. One, you're looking to get into the industry and you don't know what to expect when taking the insurance state exam. I get it, I've been there. Or you've taken the insurance state exam and you didn't quite pass the first time. I get it, I've been there too. Either way, just know that it is okay. The insurance state exam is not an easy exam by any means necessary. It's meant to trip you up. It's meant to trick you and confuse you. But don't worry anymore. I'm going to get into some great tips and tricks to help you conquer that mean, crazy thing called the insurance state exam. So the first thing that you need to know when taking the insurance state exam is the structure of the exam. Now, depending on your state, it could be a little different, so check with your state guidelines, but I'm going to reference North Carolina because that is where I am located. Let's say you want to get your property and casualty exam. In some states, it's one long exam. In North Carolina, you take the property exam and you take the casualty exam as well. And I know a few states are like that too. So it just depends on what state you're in. But for me in North Carolina, each exam, we had about 2 hours to complete, and each exam was 60 questions. 45 questions was, of course, the insurance knowledge, what we've been studying. And then the last 15 questions are state questions, state regulations. So I would highly recommend looking at both sections or studying the state guidelines as well. A lot of people don't look at the state guidelines until right before they go into the exam. So we want to make sure that you're studying that as well. And depending on the course that you use, they will have sections that outline exactly what you need to know or what you should be studying for the exam. And the passing score is a 70. So when I took the exam, it was very nerve-wracking because you take the exam, you click submit, and then it says go to the front for your results. I always ask, why can't you guys just show me the results right then and there? Why do I have to take this long walk and think, oh my God, did I pass? I'm nervous. You're already having a million things go through your mind, and now you have to get up and someone has to tell you your results, or they'll flip over the paper and slide it to you. The passing score is a 70. So once you go to the front, you get your paper, it'll either say pass or fail. Sometimes they'll say congratulations. Sometimes they won't say anything, whether you passed or failed. It really depends on the agent or the person that you get at the front that's giving you your test results. Study resources for the insurance state exam. So if you know me, if you know anything about my channel, you know that I am a diehard Kaplan user, a Kaplan subscriber, if you will. I use Kaplan for my pre-exam. I used it for my continuing education, and I have encouraged a lot of people to use Kaplan as well. Kaplan's structure is amazing, and maybe I'll do another video on that as well. And I actually had a partnership with Kaplan as well. I don't think that they get the recognition that they deserve in the insurance space, because the way that they really broke down everything in that book and helped me to understand, because you got to think, this is a state exam and I'd never worked in insurance a day in my life. So being able to go in there and pass that exam and really understand what was going on, I definitely thank Kaplan 110%. So with Kaplan, I use the very basic version. I get a lot of questions on, did you get the comprehensive version where you have online teachings? No. I paid the least amount of money possible to get my exam, because at the time I didn't want to put out that money to get the same information that I would get if I were to pay for the comprehensive version of the study packet. I am so glad that I did that. It was at my own pace. But the really cool thing about it as well is they had a calendar, and I said, I want to be done and ready to take this test in 2 weeks. And they created a calendar for me of how much I should study each day. Now, that is probably the most studying that I've ever done in my life, and I have a college degree. So I really studied so hard for this exam because I knew I could make a career out of this. Now, did I know it would be all of this? I don't know, but I'm very grateful that I did take that exam, and it put me in the position that I am in today. Now, with the Kaplan basic version, you do get a textbook, a virtual textbook. Everything was online, and I read through every single page, but I love how they really simplified it. You would read and you would have a practice quiz, read, and things like that. I recommend doing it in sections. So for example, I only studied for an hour at a time, and then I would take 15-minute breaks because my attention span isn't super long, but I knew that I had to get this information in. I didn't want to burn myself out, get exhausted, or really just start reading material and then not even know what I'm reading. So I would read for an hour, and then I would take a break for 15 minutes, read for an hour. So roughly every evening, I studied between 2 and 3 hours a night. It wasn't that bad because I had those breaks. And when I tell you, those hours really flew by because the information was so interesting to me. And that's why I knew that I would really love insurance, because the information that I was learning, the different processes and procedures in the insurance industry really intrigued me. So I was excited to even see that when I was studying the material. A big one is practice exams. I can only speak for Kaplan when I say this, but they had amazing practice exams. So you could do a full out practice exam, or let's say you were just studying for homeowners insurance for the day. You could do a practice exam just for homeowners insurance questions. It was so many different variations, so many different questions that you had. So I would rarely get the same question twice. And what it does is it trains your brain on how to think for the exam, because they're not going to ask the questions the way that you would think they would ask the question. So they're going to, say different wording or use a different format. And that practice exam really trained my brain. So when I got in there, I understood what to look for, what they were asking, and also how to answer that question. Every night, once I finished my readings, I would spend about another hour just doing practice exams, because to me, that was fun. Being able to test my knowledge to see if I'm really retaining this knowledge, and if I wasn't, just the repetition of continuously doing these practice exams really helped my knowledge of all this insurance material that I was taking in. Also, another really good tip that I would recommend is using flashcards. So for me, I wrote down everything on flashcards. Like, I had my flashcards everywhere. Yes, people recommend Quizlet, but I love the old-fashioned flashcards and flipping through them and saying, okay, what is this and that? I had my flashcards everywhere. I was at the store, I had my flashcards. I was driving and I was stopped at a light, I was on my flashcards. I was sitting on the couch, I was on my flashcards. And that is what I highly recommend, because when you take this exam, this is a serious thing. So you need to eat, breathe, and sleep insurance. So when you get in that exam, you will be certain and confident that you know the information and that you will pass the exam. Also, be intentional with studying. Set time aside every night or every day, whatever your schedule looks like, to study. Don't allow excuses, don't allow plans to get in the way of studying. Studying is a temporary sacrifice for a brand new career that you get to explore and grow in. What other career do you know that you can take an exam, besides real estate, that you can take an exam and make 6 figures. I recommend just locking in and studying. Don't allow excuses to prolong the studying, to prolong the journey of getting your license. You have to just eliminate all distractions. If you have kids, you may want to wake up early in the morning to study, or you may want to stay up a little later after they go to bed to study. But you want to make sure that you are allotting yourself at least 2 to 3 hours a day to study. Oh, Kenny, I don't think that's realistic for me. That's an excuse. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. And if you really, really want this, if you want to, as Eric Thomas says, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, you'll make it happen. So don't allow any excuses to really get in the way of you becoming a successful insurance agent. When you're in the exam, make sure to read every question carefully. When I talk to agents, a lot of times they say, well, I didn't see the word not. So what I did a lot of times, if I saw a question and it was like, name the coverage that is not included on this policy or X, Y, and Z, I would literally write down not on the scratch sheet of paper that I had and underlined it. So my brain understands it is not. Because what can happen is a lot of times you can read a little fast and skip over certain words, or really forget that the word not is in there and pick the wrong answer because you're so used to studying and seeing what you read on the practice exam. So make sure that you're reading slow and eliminate obvious wrong answers. Every question is going to have obvious wrong answers. I promise you that. So eliminate those and then look at each question, read it carefully, and read every answer in its entirety. Even if you read the question and you know the answer is A, still allow yourself to read every answer to just make sure that this is the right answer. Because again, this test is designed to trick you, to trip you up. So make sure to allow yourself to read every question and every answer in its entirety. A big one is don't second guess yourself. If you click an answer, if you choose an answer, and then you go back and say, I don't know if that's the right one, don't second guess yourself, because that is literally your brain playing tricks on you. You're doubting yourself. Leave it how it is. I have talked to agents that change answers, and then after they got their exam and they didn't pass and they failed by one question, they said, it was the question that I changed. That has even happened to me. Don't change the questions unless you are certain that the answer that you are changing it to is correct. And also flag some questions that you may be a little hesitant on or confused and say, I don't know if this is the correct answer. Don't spend too much time on one question, because again, this test is a time test. So we want to make sure that we make it all the way to the end. And then once you have completed the exam, go to those questions that you may be a little unsure on and just go back and review those again. But you want to make sure that you get all the way to the end before reviewing those questions again. The day of the exam, make sure to put something on your stomach. You don't want your hunger to distract you. Bring your ID and your confirmation letter if you got one for the exam, or have it on your phone just in case for whatever reason you're not in the system. Stay calm, be confident. You've trained for this. You're ready for this, and this is the big day. If you need to play this part right before you go to the exam, look me in the eyes. I'm going to tell you, you got this. You're smart, you're capable, and you're going to pass this exam, and you are going to be an amazing insurance agent. Now, in the unfortunate event that you don't pass the exam, it's okay. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, reevaluate, go back to the drawing board, and do it again. That's all. It is not the end of the world. A lot of agents don't pass the insurance state exam the first time. And if you don't believe me, go back to my video of how to pass the insurance state exam the second time or something like that, because I didn't pass the first time. A lot of agents don't pass the first time. And if you don't pass the first time, that doesn't affect how you will be as an insurance agent. I promise. You've got this, you're capable, you're smart, and you're going to do amazing on the exam. Now, once you pass the exam and now you're in the insurance industry, that's when you're going to reach out to me and apply for the mentorship program, the RAMP mentorship program. I teach agents how to go from 0 to 6 figures in their insurance agency without paying for any ads, any leads, or any paid marketing. Everything with my agency has been 100% organic. In the comments below, put some tips that I may have missed. What are some things that helped you pass the exam, or what are some tips if you're looking to take the exam that has helped you along the way in your journey? Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and hit that bell for my latest notification. Again, my name is Kenny J, the insurance guru, and this is Kenny J TV.